Hush! Damn it. Got you by a lip.
Lionel.
Damn, Leo won't stop crying.
Crying like a little bitch.
Like kind of like a baby.
Who's raising this child? Fucking. So yeah, very, very interesting. I've got to return my mom's Alfa Romeo lease in a few days. Can you guess how many?
I'm going to guess 3.
2, 1. It's the Shant and Ari podcast, you guys. Episode number 51. Shant, how you feeling tonight, big guy?
This intro just cringes me when I listen to it, man. It's like
Oh man, I feel proud of myself every time I get ready to fucking ask you.
What's your mom switching to?
She already switched. She got a BMW back in December.
Oh, okay.
She loves it, if you're wondering.
She didn't like the Alpha, or?
She did. She's actually still kind of pissed off at me that I made her switch out kind of early. But
yeah, the Alfa Romeo is nice, man.
Yeah, I mean, but it just wasn't convenient for what I was trying to do. So I had to get her out, and she's just not happy with me right now about that. Not a big deal. It's whatever.
It's all right. So we're gonna kind of, I guess today we're gonna talk more about like last week's episode. I got kind of blown up by a few people about hating on our talking about how dare you say America's not the best country to live in, and I'm just like, hey, first of all, listen to the whole fucking podcast. Second, we never said it's the worst country to live in or not a great country to live in. We were just stating some facts, okay? So everybody relax. We were taking information from an article we were responding to, and we both still live here.
Out of context days. Like, everybody wants to take shit out of context.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still here. We're not moving. Yet.
Are we?
Yet. And before we jump into that episode, I want to ask you, man, because I've had a few people, like business owners, like friends, hit me up, and they're kind of pissed that sports is back on, even though like we all love sports. I love the NBA. I'm so happy it's back on. But it's like they're allowed to start their business, but we're not, kind of deal. And I kind of get they have all the testing and they're doing this bubble, and it's even though it's a BS bubble, if you ask me, but I'll leave it alone.
We were watching Celtics game last Friday at Anto's house. We had a group of 8 guys. We were all properly spaced out apart.
Okay.
And we had set up a projector outside in the backyard.
Okay.
And
did this conversation come up? Like,
it didn't come up in the sense that we were upset that they were starting to play when we were not even allowed to witness them play. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys are playing, we should be allowed in the stadium because we're technically the ones that pay your salary.
Yeah.
So we were just happy that we were there, because some people are using that as an excuse to sit down and I guess socialize with whoever's in their house, maybe immediate family. Not obviously you shouldn't be sitting around with your boys, but I'm just saying that it gives you an opportunity. Like, Netflix isn't around. I get it.
But you don't feel like, just want to ask you, because people brought this up, like they're allowed to start back up, but other businesses are still shut down.
I feel like those other businesses that are still shut down, if they could follow the same safety protocols, then they're good in my book. But the guys are getting tested, every day?
Well, yes, supposedly, right?
Supposedly.
So a couple of things with this bubble that I want to – first of all, I'm all for the NBA starting because I want to watch it. But, we have to give up some facts. One is people still come and go. Okay, that's one. One of the players was caught at a strip club in Atlanta
Nice.
getting wings. He said he was just stopping by to get wings.
Right. Oh.
Okay, he was caught taking a selfie with someone. First of all, why would you take a picture with someone in a strip club when you're supposed to be in the bubble? But he was excused to go to a friend's funeral. He was supposed to go and come back. On the way back, he just stopped by the strip club to get some wings.
Winks.
And if it wasn't for the picture, he would have never gotten caught. So my question is, how many people have gotten away with being out? That's number one. Another person got caught having an Uber Eats delivery driver drop off food. That's in direct contact with someone outside the bubble. And then the best part is the workers who are working there, they still go home to their families every night. So is this really it's not really a big bubble that everyone thinks it is. It's not an isolation of like this bubble is closed off. There's FBI agents outside fucking it's they still come and go, just to let you know. So
stupid, man. I just don't understand. Listen. There was a catering in Quincy of a high school graduation, and all the employees are required to quarantine for a week before the event. Bullshit. The employees are quarantining for a week. Get the fuck out of here. So I get it. I understand. It's just certain things they get. This is you can't even say white privilege either, because it's fucking most of them aren't even white at all. The whitest person on the team is probably from fucking Colombia or Argentina or something like that. So I just think you're right. I do think that a lot of the non-essential businesses are being deemed essential, and essential.
Basketball, NBA is not essential. MLS is an essential. Just saying. I'll just wait to get all the hate again from last week from the people, all my NBA fans that are my friends who are gonna fucking demolish me on Instagram now because.
Well, what are the bars supposed to be playing on the TV? Yeah, I get it. How you guys got into trouble in the first place?
We got to crown a champion this year, man. You got to crown the champion. Okay, relax, guys. It's not that serious. The fucking global pandemic going on. If we don't crown a champion, it's not the end of the world. Everybody relax.
It's just fucked up, man. So, yeah, last week, speaking of current events and shit happening, last week I was also trying to spread the word about the situation in Armenia. It's getting worse because Azerbaijanis are targeting Armenians outside of Armenia. So we've got to raise this issue quite a bit, that we got to stay vigilant. But anyway, so on my social media as well, I mean, I took
you've been going hard.
I took a left turn with the shit that I've been posting. But so speaking of shit happening back home, and not just back home, but maybe even places where we don't even really call home, but our parents call home.
Yeah.
Our homeland and other homelands are currently on fire. Can we just maybe talk about the fact that Armenia, Syria, Lebanon are all sort of in a hot mess?
Fucked. Syria is the worst. I mean, I think it's gotten better a little bit.
Yeah, I could say maybe
people are, I think, flying into Syria now. If I heard right,
Israeli drones and other missiles and whatnot. So it's sort of makes you think like you can never actually go home. America is technically very much home, which makes you think for a second, coming back to our original conversation that we were having last week was backup plan.
Yeah.
Do you actually have one in case Trump fucks us and makes us need to leave?
Yeah. So yeah, just about our actual homes away from America home. Our second, like, I don't know which one. I was born here, so it's a little different. But yes, our original homes, right? Like Syria, like Betty's from Syria, right? She was very disappointed when this whole war thing happened. She always wanted to take me back, right, and show me all the where she grew up. Can't happen anymore. It's never happening. I don't think.
Met in 2010, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that was the last time I was in Syria.
Really?
Yeah, you would have gotten a really, really good because you guys met 2010. That was the year that I was there. Maybe a couple years into your relationship, maybe you guys would have visited, but instead the war popped off a year after you and Betty met.
Yeah, so that's like, it's disappointing. We'll probably never go back. Like, I mean, I don't know when, maybe. So I had a conversation with your brother actually, and it kind of, so originally my thought process was go somewhere like either Canada or like Europe, right? Like Switzerland, Sweden, kind of something like that, right? And we started looking into Switzerland a lot. It's just a beautiful country, man. And just looking at the pictures, it's fucking beautiful, dude.
Going on those travel accounts.
What? Yeah. Yeah, you keep kind of still breaking up, by the way. Like your every first word is broken up.
That's okay.
So
saved perfectly on my computer. So we're good.
okay. So the problem was it's hard to get citizenship. That's a big deal, getting citizenship in a country. I know a lot of people complain about America and there's a big illegal immigration kind of fucking build the wall, don't build the wall, let everyone in, don't let anyone in. First of all, every other country, it's fucking hard to get into. It's not easy. It's not like you can just show up and be like, just here to get a citizenship, people, real quick. Just, it's fucking hard everywhere. Okay. One of the easiest places for us to get citizenship, which is what I'm going to do soon, once the pandemic's over, I can go to the consulate, is get our Armenian citizenship. I think it's smart. I think it's a smart play. Just get it, have it.
Let's explore this. Why?
Why not? What's your reservation towards it?
I just I don't see a valid reason for me to go to Armenia.
Okay.
And stay there for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I mean,
or
I'll give you 2 reasons to get your Armenian citizenship. It's easy, not expensive. That's easy and not expensive together. And then B, it's just because you never know. You need a landing spot, right? And that's the easiest landing spot to get right now. So just have it as like an emergency plan. Not saying you're going to go, you're going to stay there, but it's good to have. My plan was to go somewhere in Europe because I want, European, the EU. There's a way I read online and heard from some people that if you spend $250,000 in real estate, you could get citizenship, but you could have up to 10 people in your family committed into that 250. So if me, you, few cousins, a few John Essians from here and there, we pull some money together, 10 of us, 25K each, boom. We could apply for Greek citizenship. We're in the EU. Let's go.
So you're telling me that you could buy a place for 250,000 euro and automatically become a citizenship?
Yes.
What kind of European prostitution is that? I don't get it.
Well, they want money. I mean, it's a way to put money into the economy.
That's insane.
You down?
I mean, no.
Why not? I know that's the country you want to go to.
I just put it this way. I I have a backup plan, but the backup plan doesn't involve another country um, for business. In terms of being able to access another country, do I really, really need to have a citizenship to that country in order to access it? As in, I can't just pick up and go to Armenia is really gonna block themselves off from Americans.
Probably not Armenia, but I just feel like it's good to have, man, because you don't know what's changing, right? What's the drawback of getting your Armenian citizenship?
There is no drawback to it unless you wanted to get a European citizenship as well.
It wouldn't affect it.
Well, no, you can't have more than two citizenships.
You sure? Is
Yes,
that a thing?
yes. You can only be for the most part for the world. You can't have more than two citizenships.
Okay.
Country.
So yeah, keep going.
As there may be some exceptions here and there, some countries that allow you to be a citizen of like three countries, but if you want to keep your United States citizenship, you can't be a citizen of another country of more than two countries, including the U.S. So I just feel like it may be what?
Three. U.S. is three. Let's go.
U.S. is three?
Yeah, just read it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's hilarious. So anyway, if I could figure out,
But you're saying you rather just go to a country, do your thing, that you don't even need to be a citizen.
mm-hmm.
But I think there's some drawbacks to that. I don't know, like what happens as far as like starting. You're going to have money go somewhere, right? Like, how does that work? That whole banking system, having a business, your LLCs, all this shit, man. Like, I don't know, like that. I feel like, and I'm guessing you're looking that up right now.
No, what I'm looking up right now is even as a European, I have a friend that went to Greece, and he was also subject to a lot of different rules coming to the country as a Greek coming from the United States. So people think I have a citizenship that could make all the difference. It's not the case.
Okay.
You're bound to certain travel restrictions if you're coming from a specific country. Now, being that we're coming from the United States to certain countries, we're also not protected by the fact that we are Americans if the country that we're going to is on a list of countries that we shouldn't be in. For instance, if Armenia suddenly becomes subject to a war and becomes a place that the United States puts on a travel advisory, then we are no longer within the safety of our U.S. passport. So I want to go somewhere where my safety is of top priority.
Yes. Yeah. So, yes, 100%. My only thing is now having a Leo the lion in the family. If we move to Europe, he's got to go to school, right? If he wants to go into college, let's say, I don't know what year this is going to happen, right? I would think he would need citizenship to go to school. I don't know. That's why I'm thinking of getting citizenship. That is the reason. But so for you, safety is important. I mean, Greece is a little thing too. Is that your landing spot, or what? I'm sure you've thought about it since the last week we talked about this. What's your spot?
Greece would definitely be my safe house spot.
Okay.
The fact is that if you go there, it doesn't matter if you go there with a U.S. passport, an Armenian passport. It doesn't matter what kind of passport you go there on. If you're flying in legally, you're good. If you're flying in you're flying in with your Greek passport, but you committed or you're being looked for from the U.S., doesn't really matter what passport you went in there with. If the government is going to catch you, they're going to catch you. So, it doesn't really matter if, some shit popped off and, you're using your Greek passport. None of that shit really matters.
Yeah.
I think being able to travel, if you're going to leave, Greece would probably be my spot. The reason why is because of like I mentioned last week, the familiarity with everything that they have to offer, whether it be between food, culture, all that sort of stuff. But more than all of that, it's my feeling comfortable getting back down to business. Feeling comfortable in your environment is probably half the battle when you're trying to work.
So my question to you is, I know we talked about this, but I want to hear another place, right? Like I want to somewhere, give me a country that you would go to, forget Greece for a second, that you have to go and start a business there and actually like you have to go there and you're going to start a business in that country. Like you have the restaurant, right? You have to be in Boston and you're using clients and customers in Boston, right? So Greece is not an option because they have no economy right now. So give me another country you would have to go to where you could start a business and you're dealing with the clients in the country, customers in the country. Okay. What country would be best suited for you besides Greece? Because Greece has zero economy right now.
Okay, so if I'm going to go to that country and set up brick and mortar.
Yes, brick and mortar, exactly.
I would be resorting back to the restaurant business.
Yep.
And I would be targeting a place that not many Armenians or Middle Easterners set up shop.
Okay.
And what I would be doing is importing the products that I'd be using, not so much relying on that country's supply.
Would you go to a high tourist place or more locals?
I would go to a country that has a lot of tourists, but those tourists are not necessarily getting the type of food that I'm offering. That's not so available.
Yeah, like I don't know. Do you have a country?
Yeah. Japan.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Some weird shit like that.
Well, I thought you were going to say like Germany.
No, Germany has a ton of Turks and Syrians. So I got to really think about it.
Yeah. Just
to where Armenians or Turks or Syrians, they're not really in high concentration there.
Wow.
But I would definitely go and set up shop and make it super, super authentic.
Interesting.
Yeah. I would have some weird vibe going on over there.
See, I would probably go to a country, English, it has to be prevalent, right? Like that's
you can get that in Japan.
Huh?
You can get that in Japan.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you can't. So I would have to go because I'll dive right into real estate, right? And like real estate sales, whatever, like in the beginning just to learn, do rentals, sales, whatever I got to do. But somewhere that people speak English so I could kind of communicate or I just hire a fucking assistant who just translate with me everywhere I go. But that's what I would do. So that's my brick and mortar kind of deal.
So, funny how you're mentioning this. Shant, there's I was gonna say something that had a lot to do with what you were just saying. I think that if you were to do real estate, I could definitely see you doing it internationally. I just don't understand how the language barrier, I don't know how you would get past that so quickly, even with a assistant? Would you have that assistant like around you completely all the time, even for like non real estate transactions and stuff like that?
Probably. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd go to a country where there's like English is like pretty well known, right? Like I'm not going to go to fucking south of Italy, Sicily, where they're fucking just straight like they can't even like just, which is fine. I love Sicily. Like it's just straight Italian, and they're just like looking at you weird, right? Like there's some countries, European countries, where English is, and I'm not going to England, but English is, they speak it, they know it, you can kind of communicate. Because there's agents in this fucking country, right, who don't speak good English, and they get by. So I'd figure out a way. I don't know what the way is, but I would figure out a way to make it happen.
So do you think that you would be doing real estate sales, traditional real estate sales there, wherever?
To get started, probably, just to learn. That's a good way to learn, like the areas, learn people, learn trends. That's what I would do.
So talk to me a little bit about how quickly you think you could pull this off. So if I said that, Shant, it's not
A year.
good.
A year.
It would take you a year to literally pick up and pack your bags and get out?
No, like once I touch down to like really, once I start to really get a good grasp and really like maybe start learning shit, words. What?
How long would it take you to pick up and leave?
2 months? Fucking a month? I don't know. Like, you remember we did move across country. We have the blueprint.
But you didn't have 2 houses or 3 houses to sell.
Yeah, well, I would either sell, depending on what's happening in America, how bad it is. I'd either keep them, rent them out to have some money coming in, or I would sell them to get the cash and get out. So if I had to sell, it would take probably 3 months for me to get everything, get money, and get the hell out of here.
So I guess thinking about it a little bit more, I feel like I could open up shop in Armenia.
It'd be tough though in the
It would, but I couldn't do a restaurant business. It would have to be something else.
what? What are you thinking?
My uncle Rupen wants to open up a body shop there. I'm thinking between my social media and marketing skills, I might be able to do that. Get in bed with like the rich mafia guys and like start to earn business from that.
In Armenia, see, yeah, it's like in Armenia, I would probably get into buying and selling homes, like personally, like maybe buy a plot of land, build something on it, sell it to an American or European Armenians who have money as vacation rentals or vacation homes.
Right now, you would be marketing homes on Instagram and like Facebook and stuff like, oh,
yeah,
sale, Vajarvuma, Hisusayin Bogodaits.
Yeah, 200K. Look what it gets you, fucking right by opera.
Նայեցեք, 3 հարգանոց ապարման, 3 ննճասենյակ, 2 հատ զուգարան, վաճառվում է 1 միլիոն հայկական դրամ.
I feel like if we went to Armenia, we could figure it out, man. Do something like if this is the thing, if shit hits the fan here, and we're looking at each other like, dude, we got to get the hell out. It wouldn't be the worst idea for us to go to Armenia just to like start something together. We could figure it out.
Right. Between either real retail or between property, we could definitely figure something out. Do you think that it would be more beneficial for you to do this on your own in another country, or do you think it would make the most sense, if it's at all possible, to start a partnership with somebody who knows what they're doing there? What would you rather be doing? Would you, not so much for the ease being able to get started, but for the sake of learning and figuring it out on your own? Are you looking for the easy way in, or are you looking for that struggle in finding out?
So I don't think it's the going the easy way by having a partnership. I would do the partnership because, first of all, I feel like we have such a far reach in like different countries. Weirdly, like I feel like if I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to Switzerland, I'm moving to Switzerland. If I put an Instagram story up and say, hey, I'm moving to Switzerland, does anyone know anyone in Switzerland? We're going to get a few hits. We're going to have like a cousin's friend or something over there, and we could connect with someone there, right? Do you agree?
In Thailand?
Huh? I am. I have a cousin in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking jeweler. He's my first cousin. So anywhere in the country, in the world, I think we'd be okay, like finding someone, right? So I don't know if it'd be 100% partnership, but it's someone I would lean on and, you know, compensate in a way of like, hey, you help me out, just so I don't make the mistakes. Like if someone comes to America, there's some stuff like you could just make a mistake on without knowing because you're not familiar. And I want to avoid those mistakes.
Like renting a car instead of leasing it. Like, I think $100 a month. The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, like renting an Airbnb instead of just like a regular rental. So that's what I feel like I would more towards lean rather than lean more towards, especially in Armenia, because I would try to figure out how to get away from all the shady shit that you need to fucking avoid, like the mafias and everything.
Very interesting. Oh, like start an Airbnb for doctors, like an Uber for doctors.
Yeah.
Order a doctor if you. It's just some weird shit. There's so many business ideas, but I just think that finding the right country, it's always very, very easy to resort to the country where you know the most people. I kind of want to go somewhere where I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like super uncomfortable.
So, well, yeah, I mean, I did that with Arizona, even though it's the same language and, you know, it's the same country.
Sick, man.
So, is that, forget global fucking crisis in America, this, that. Would there be a scenario that Ari is in another country, A, and then B, what do you feel about what people would think of that?
So the only way that I could give a fuck about what people think of me is if I had done something just awful and I had to leave. I would never be able to leave Boston on bad terms. As in, I did something really bad or I did something really bad to somebody and left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, with that being said, if I'm leaving and I'm leaving on good terms without notice, I can give a shit less. Somebody wants to ask around what happened to Ari, let them tell them a really, really good story. Like, dude, he just picked up and he's doing his own thing out in fucking Japan. Catch somebody off guard type of thing. I've always been the type to catch somebody off guard completely with the shit that I do anyway. So I just feel like I don't care, but I just definitely don't want a wrong taste in anybody's mouth when they do find out. I kind of want like a positive sort of like, what? Really? Not like, oh shit, really? You know what I mean? But you clearly don't give a flying fuck what you do.
Yeah. No.
Kid fucking picks up and leaves to go to Arizona randomly. You're such a strange person still. When I think about it,
I still. So it's funny because one of my friends out here, you know, he just moved out. Well, he didn't just move. He moved here when I moved here from where he was from Rhode Island, Seneca. And just the other day, I was talking with him or hanging out, and he's like, I'm thinking of moving to like Charlotte, North Carolina.
Rhode Island to Arizona to Charlotte. Where
Yeah.
where next? Louisiana?
And I just feel like, dude, it's we get so locked into like one area, right? That our parents chose, right? And we grew up in a community, which is great. Like having the Armenian community is great, but getting out, leaving, and going somewhere different, it's so refreshing. It's like restarting your life.
Very true.
It's such a good feeling. And I always tell people, like, it's something you should always, I always try to urge people to like try it if you can, right? If you can't, you can't. But we make it such a bigger deal than it is in our heads. Like, oh my God, I can't move. I have everything here, which some people do. And those things can't, like if you're a restaurant, you can't leave the restaurant. You just can't.
Or maybe you can.
You can, if you want to get crazy, you could do a franchise, you could sell it, start a new restaurant somewhere else. It's always possible. There's ways to do it. But I just think it's such a good feeling. I'm not even like at the point, I love Arizona, but I'm not like I'm staying here forever. I could see us moving again to another state.
Where?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. We don't like we love Arizona right now. Don't even get me wrong. But talk to me in 10 years.
I feel like you'll be in LA in 10 years, bro.
Not the way LA is going. I just saw this in LA. Hang on, because you have to, this is why I'm not going to LA. It says Los Angeles to shut off water and power to homes hosting large parties and gatherings.
How do they know who's hosting?
CBS News. This is not like a meme, okay? This is CBS News reporting this. So LA is out. This is how some countries handled this whole pandemic and coronavirus has really opened my eyes on how some states are running shit. And it's really going to like a lot of big companies, Tesla, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, they're moving their shit to Texas.
Why?
Because the government, bro, like the state level, they're just sick of how much they have like just a clamp on it. Like Joe Rogan was talking about how forget the taxes, forget this, just the way how they're running shit as far as like how like they're hammering businesses. Texas is more free. Texas is more like, hey, listen, this is and they as a business owner, that's where they feel they want to be. And I've been looking at that and I'm like, interesting.
Which is strange because Texas wouldn't allow Tesla to sell directly to their customers.
What do you mean?
The Texas Auto Dealers Association wanted to stop Tesla from selling direct. You know how when you buy a Tesla, you're buying it directly from Tesla? You're not buying it from a dealership, you're buying it from one of their stores.
Oh, yeah. It says Tesla, you won't find Tesla sales centers in Texas due to state laws created from lobbying Texas dealerships. You can buy it online. You just won't find a Tesla sales center. Wow.
Oh, strange. Anyway, so I agree in the whole Texas thing. I would love to be in Texas. If I could set up a shawarma place in Texas, I'd probably do that.
I could see that.
Yeah. I would just be scared I'd get my place lit on fire given the whole racism thing in our country. I guess I stick to Boston, not so much for not wanting to step out of my bubble. They just pick the least racist place in the world.
There's a lot of diversity in Boston. This is the thing.
I just call it no racism, really. You know.
So that's one of the reasons why my friend Seneca wants to leave Arizona. There's not a lot of diversity here, right? And it is a thing, right? Yeah, a little more or less racist. It's a thing though, because from the East Coast has a lot of diversity, man. That's one thing about the East Coast. You got a lot of diversity, and coming here, it's just like,
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to brace yourself. So I guess we definitely established the fact that wherever we're moving to, we're trying to move somewhere where we're accepted. The people of the country would like to see us, would like to do business with us. We're definitely not moving somewhere where it's going to be hard to do business. I would probably say with that comes the whole language thing. You got to be able to speak the language, or at the very least speak your language without getting looked at like you have fucking 25 heads. Basically, don't go to Japan.
people are going to start hating on us, thinking we just want to get the fuck out of America.
Nah, it's not. It's not that. It's not.
Yeah. Like, people got to realize, like, it's got to be some shit for us to leave. Like, we're not like sitting here saying we want to leave the country.
Listen, we're Armenian, but we're not even loyal to
our country,
our own country.
If we put citizenship aside, if me and you as Armenians, and we love being Armenian like more than anything, we're very big with our heritage and nationality. If we had a choice of countries to move to, Armenia would be like 77th probably on the list of countries to move to.
It's so terrible. No, I'd give it like a solid 14th.
Top 15?
Top 15. Top 15.
Have you seen some countries out there, bro? There's some nice shit. There's some good shit out there.
There really are. There really are some good countries. But anyway, I just find it that my backup plan will always be I'll try to stay in the United States, pick a state somewhere else. But my backup plan has a lot to do with food more than it does cars or anything like that. Just basically because it's so recession proof. Like food, quick food at that, cheap, quick food will always be recession proof. So anyway.
Yeah, that's what this has shown us. Yeah. Baby's crying. Okay.
How are we doing on time?
I think we're running out. But yeah, I keep getting blown up on this. My other friend is just blowing me up about this whole mask fucking thing and how America has failed. And I was like, all right, just leave.
Have you been wearing one?
Yeah, I wear it when I go out. If I remember, like, I run in somewhere and I'm like, fuck, I forgot my mask. And then they're like, can you get your mask? I'm like, yeah, I got you, man.
I will get my mask.
Do you? I mean...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we live in Massachusetts.
What does that mean?
Well, we didn't have that crazy mushroom cloud rebound that you guys had.
Yeah.
We were just we're trying to stay at like a decent rate. So yeah. But yeah,
well, we got to go to the bars earlier, so.
Which was a horrible, horrible decision on your guys' part. Are the gyms still protesting to stay open?
Yeah, they just they won the litigation to Mountainside Fitness here. They sued, and they just won the litigation to open up. So they're open up next week.
Idiots, just. Oh man.
But bro, what are people supposed to do? How are you supposed to not make money, man?
Well, just stay healthy, stay well. Um, Try to stay the fuck out of not out. Don't leave your house, basically, as much as you can. Given that Arizona's fucked up, and you guys just enjoy your freedom so much.
Trump 2020, right? That's all they say.
I don't think America has any other choice. The other guy is delusional.
Third party libertarian Joe Jorgensen.
It's an
Look it
unfortunate
up.
situation, but I think
Huh?
it's an unfortunate situation. But I think we're going in on another 4 years of Trump.
Joe Jorgensen. Look her up.
I'll look.
She's about having less government. Yeah, it's a she.
Huh.
She looks like a librarian, but it's okay. She's about having less government involvement in things, which I like.
Who's making decisions? I don't understand.
I'll send you a link.
Are the states making the decisions?
No, it's private, like, so everything is like government, right? Like fucking. This is another conversation for another day, but there is a thing where if you look by every candidate, they have every kind of like um, policy or whatever their beliefs are, and they tell you the answer. So if you go down the list of like immigration or jail reform or fucking business, taxes, she's the probably her policies, man. She's not going to win 100% because nobody even knows.
Exactly. This is the first time I'm hearing about anybody else but Trump or Biden.
Uncle Joe.
Joe, Uncle Joe. So yeah, but phenomenal. I'm happy to see that you've got your shelter in place things figured out and your backup plan to the United States figured out. Sounding like Canada more and more. I hear from you because Switzerland, we're not sure exactly if we know anybody there yet.
I'm going to start asking around if I know anyone. If anyone Switzerland, let us know, man. Let me know. I want to talk to them.
I will move with you to Switzerland. We can get some chocolate, go up to the mountains.
It'd be a good place for a shawarma.
A deluxe, very luxury shawarma.
Yeah.
Good night, Shant.
Good night, everyone.